Hello, my name is Bill Clough. I'm from St. Andrew United Methodist Church in St. Albans, West Virginia, and this is the children's message for Sunday, January the 3rd. Today is a really interesting Sunday in our church. It's the Sunday where we celebrate Epiphany. Epiphany occurs on January 6th, and it marks the day that the three kings or three wise men or three magi or magi, depending on which translation of the Bible you read, arrive to recognize Jesus as the Savior. It's interesting to me because my favorite Christmas carol has always been We Three Kings, but also because of the word Epiphany itself. It's a really specific word, and an epiphany is something that you might have when you finally realize something is true. It's this really big light bulb moment that you have where everything starts to make sense and everything kind of clicks into place and you understand all sorts of things. So I think it's really important that these three really powerful men who are traveling from very far away and following a star that is leading them to Bethlehem come to recognize Jesus as the Savior and as an incarnation of God here on earth. It's really interesting and really important. So what I'd like to do is just read a little bit from the book of Matthew, and it's Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 12, and it just talks a little bit about the wise men, or the magi, and their journey to find Jesus following this star. In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, asking, "Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star at its rising and have come to pay him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was frightened, and all Jerusalem with him. And calling together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They told him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it has been written by the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people, Israel." Then Herod secretly called for the wise men and learned from them the exact time when the star had appeared. Then he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word so that I may also go and pay him homage." When they had heard the king, they set out, and there ahead of them went the star that they had seen at its rising, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. On entering the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then, opening their treasure chests, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they left for their own country by another road. Some of the things that I think are really important about this story is that no matter what translation you look at, whether it says wise men or kings or magi, the idea is that these are three very important, very intelligent people who have come to find Jesus because they have been led to do this thing. And they come to recognize him as a king here on earth, who is greater than they are. So whether it's wisdom or royalty that they are still recognizing that Jesus is greater than they are, and he is more important than they are. For they're just kings of men, and Jesus came to be our Messiah and to save us all. Also, it's really important they say when the star stops over where Jesus is, they are overwhelmed with joy. This joy is where we get the word epiphany, I like to think. They have this moment of clarity, this moment of great joy when they find the place where they can go in and see Jesus. And I think it's important that we all remember that joy and remember that that is something, the birth of Jesus is something for us all to truly be joyful for, not just at this time of the year, but all year round. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great week.